wild. Like,
So you gotta embrace that, nigga. You gotta.
Will we give you the courtesy of conversation?
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show.
Hey, welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
Where we give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to watch our other shows, Plays and Parlays, Civil Discourse, The Friday Fix, and UFC with LT. Shout out to our special guests here in the building with us, Kilo Keys. How's everybody doing here on this fabulous Tuesday? We are live here doing Uncommon Courtesy. If you see it, if you like it, share it with your friends. Please comment. If you want your comment to be posted on our page, you need to come to Webb's Network Media. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
Shit, I'm smooth. How are you?
Good. I'm good, man. It's been again another crazy couple days here, man. We, haven't really been able to report on what's going on, but it's definitely been a hectic few days.
Yeah, it's been a kind of crazy few days. You know what I'm saying? We're generally at war. A couple service members have passed away. Yeah, being that we know of. You know what I'm saying? Reports are, whatever's coming out of this administration, they're going to tell you what they feel like telling you. So I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on. So I think that's what we're going to talk about first. If you want to set it off, Wes.
All right. How Trump decided to go to war. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel walked into the Oval Office on the morning of February 11th, determined to keep the American president on the path to war. For weeks, the United States and Israel has been secretly discussing a military offensive against Iran. But the Trump administration officials have recently begun negotiating with the Iranians over the future of their nuclear program. And the Israeli leader wanted to make sure the new diplomatic effort did not undermine the plans. Over nearly 3 hours, the two leaders discussed the prospects of war and even the possible dates for an attack, as well as the possibility, however unlikely, that President Trump might be able to reach a deal with Iran. Days later, the U.S. president made clear publicly that he was skeptical of the diplomatic route, dismissing the history of negotiating with Iran as merely years of talking and talking and talking. Asked by reporters if he wanted regime change in Iran, Mr. Trump said it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen. 2 weeks later, the president took the United States to war. He authorized a vast military bombardment in conjunction with Israel that swiftly killed the country's supreme leader, pummeled Iranian civilian buildings and military nuclear sites, thrust the country into chaos, and triggered violence across the region, leading to the deaths so far of 6 U.S. troops and scores of Iranian civilians. Mr. Trump has said more American casualties are likely as the United States digs in for an assault that could last weeks. Yeah, man. This was, to me, this was one of those situations that should have been avoided. We should not be in this situation right now with Iran over their nuclear program. They did not have weapons grade, uranium or anything of that nature. Even our Pentagon came out and said that we were not in imminent danger of an attack from Iran. So why are we putting ourselves in a situation to where we're going to war yet again for Israel's interest? And it's not even their interest. It's not. I don't think this is even in their self-interest to go to war with Iran. I think it's within their plans for a greater Israel.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing it's not about, it's at the end of the day, it's about the Epstein files. I think it's that, and a lot of people need to understand this too, that we're at war here in our country with each other. Yeah. And now we're at war with, we're at war with Venezuela, we're at war with Cuba, and now we're at war with Iran, and now we're at war with Saudi Arabia. Like, that's what happens when you elect this kind of administration. This is an administration of hate. I hate everyone that's not me. And I have the power to press my thumb on everyone that's not me. So I'm going to press my thumb on everybody. I mean, think about it. We're trying to go after Greenland, right? Denmark. Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy. And it's, what they say, 6 service members have already died. I got video of them bombing the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're saying they can't even see the drones coming in. Our personnel are getting attacked. Like, I'm thinking about the troops, and this is crazy. Like, they're not sending their kids out there to fight. That's our friends and family.
I mean, our involvement in this, to me, is just asinine. It doesn't make sense that we're involved in a situation like this. I mean, people say it's not a war. I mean, what else would we call it? What else could we call this type of a conflict that we're but it's a conflict that can lead to no other means. There's if I'm Iran, how can I ever say, okay, let's make a deal? You just basically said, okay, I want a civil war within your nation. I'm going to kill your leader. That's like somebody coming and killing our president. What would we do? What would we do in this country? If someone came and killed or kidnapped our president, what would we do? I think that's the bigger question here. And I think a lot of times we're sitting back and we're allowing people to kind of make fun of what's happening and try to make, oh yeah, it's Obama's fault. He should have never given Iran the $2 billion and they made a deal with them. Well, if I can give you 1.7 billion of your money that we froze because we put sanctions on you, and then another 300 million of interest that accrued from us holding your money, and you stop making nuclear grade weapons and stop your attacks, and you stop funding, I mean, maybe your proxies, that sounds like a great deal to me.
The whole thing is they had a deal before. Remember, they had a deal before. Obama made one. That's
what I'm talking about right now. That's exactly the same deal I'm talking about right now. Is that it doesn't make sense that this is where we're at right now after all of this. After we had a deal, Trump did this in order to just say, you know what, I don't care if there's a deal. He wanted to make himself seem better. And at the same time, he did it because Netanyahu and whoever else told him, we don't want to deal with these guys. They were mad at Obama. If you look at the time, a guy sent me a chart of all the alleged attacks on Americans that Iran did over the years. And most of the attacks were proxies that were fighting in Gaza and fighting in the West Bank. They're like, oh, they killed American citizens in the West Bank. Well, they're probably dual citizens. They're probably Israelis. I mean, and at the same time, we know how we've talked about this already. All the dual citizenship people have, and they're probably in there. What does that have to do with us? Khashoggi, whatever his name was, the reporter who was killed by the Saudis, chopped up by the Saudi crown prince. We didn't do nothing about that. You know what I mean? He was an actual American citizen, straight up and down.
Yes.
So to me, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense, but during that time, like I said before, during that time frame, Obama was in office, there was like 2 attacks, but they were like IDF soldiers that were American citizens. You're an IDF soldier, brother. Which one are you? You feel me? Which one are you? An IDF soldier? That's Israeli Defense Force fighting for Israel, but you're an American citizen too. Which one are you really? For real.
Well, I mean, I think that's the issue too. We have dual citizenships. You know what I'm saying? They haven't flagged that. But I mean, the whole thing is, I can't believe it's acting up on our Instagram. But the whole thing here is it's crazy. There's no end point. Now we're in an endless war. This is not going to end overnight. This is not going to stop in 2 months, 3 months. You either have to level all of Iran, and then, like I said, they're trying to go after. They're talking about they want to go after Turkey next. You know what I'm saying? This is not going to stop.
We talked about
warmongering.
We talked about Turkey already. I mean, there's no way that they can go after Turkey because Turkey is in NATO, and with Turkey being a member of NATO, how do we put ourselves in that situation to say who we're going to pick as a winner of that right there? And Turkey's not like any of these other countries. They actually are. Turkey's a big country. They have a lot of people, and they're close to you at the same time. And Turkey has one of the best militaries in the world. They actually have bases abroad. They're one of the only countries that have bases abroad. And so I don't see them doing anything like that. But to me, when you look at the situation, it's like we've allowed ourselves to let this president has set precedents that's going to last forever now. People will come into office and say, I can pretty much do whatever I want. I had a guy come on my page and say, what about when Obama killed an American citizen who was with terrorists? He was with terrorists. He was mingling with terrorists. This is what he was doing. It was part of the, it wasn't like he just killed them for no reason. He was drone striking some terrorists, and you happened to be there. What was you doing there? But we knew that he was a terrorist because there was videos of him talking about what he was going, how he was going to kill and strike America. At the end of the day, brother, you chose your side. That's how I look at it. It's not like killing the Ayatollah. It's not like kidnapping Nicolas Maduro out of his country. Those are 2 separate things, but they will try to make these things the same. If you look at how many countries Trump attacked, he's attacked more countries than any other president I'm in history that I know that I can even say in history, maybe not during the World War or something when there was just war, but every other one. I mean, he's attacked more presidents than Obama, Bush, Clinton, all of them, Biden, all of them. You know what I mean? So we got somebody in office right now, man, who we really need to like. I think he got to go.
Well, I mean, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene said something that kind of was it didn't bother me, but it was interesting. She was like, she's like, Trump believes he's not going to heaven. She's like, so how do you deal with the person that has that kind of mindset? Like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get into heaven. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a place I'm going to be able to go. Like
probably knows he did what wasn't supposed to do.
I'm saying if I'm not going to heaven, where am I going? If that's your religion, that's what you believe in. If you're not going to heaven, you're going to hell.
Listen, bro, if I had known that I was doing some weirdo stuff that he was probably doing that we have no idea that he had going on, brother, and all this, and all the weirdo and all the theft and stealing and everything that he's done, he was just being honest. He probably was like, I want somebody to pray for me, brother. You know how people like pray for me in church? Somebody needs to pray for me. It's one of them situations.
He said, this is my heaven.
It is, though. If you think about it, he can do whatever he wants. Like, he can do whatever. Imagine being in a situation where I can steal all the money, take everything I want, kill whoever I want, say whatever I want, do whatever I want. What else is better than that? He was messing with little, little ones, all kinds of weirdo stuff. The stuff that he was into. He's done it all on earth. Where else could I go that could be better than this for me?
Well, the whole thing too. Think about it. If I think I'm going to hell and I'm the most powerful person in America, I'm bringing y'all with me.
I don't think he even care who come with him or don't come with him. He about to steal.
So, like, how can I set my family up for the
forever?
Future to be
it ain't gonna matter. Steal. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm at a point right now, man, to where when we look at what's happening, like Iran, they said that Kuwait shot down was it 2 or 3 American?
I think it were 3 American jets, and they said it was by accident, right? But also, what Iran's doing is they're bombing the U.S. bases, so the U.S. doesn't have a play. They just actually hit the one in Qatar today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the biggest military installation in Qatar. So what they have, they're getting them out the region. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's backfiring.
If it's me, like, I'm bombing everybody around me too. You know why they're doing it? Because they have, like, we got more bases in Saudi Arabia and all these other countries, because these are like there's Shiites and there's another type. I can't remember the 2 type of there's different types of Muslims, and Iranians are like a separate type of Muslim than Saudi Arabians and a lot of the other peoples are.
Iran is the old Persian Empire.
Yeah, all of that. A lot of that stuff is all through that region. That's
what Iran is. It's the Persian Empire. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's how that's what that area is. So for anybody that doesn't know, if you ever seen 300, that's who they were fighting, the Persian Empire. But the whole thing is, they have to bomb all these American bases because they're around them. I would do the same. Like, you're not going to take off from Dubai,
and you're keeping my enemy near me. You know what I'm saying? You're keeping my enemies. And I'm definitely bombing you because I believe that you had something to do with it. That's how I look at it. Like I was talking about the other day, I keep people away from me just because I understand that I'm gonna lash out at everybody if there's a problem, because I don't know who did and who didn't. So that's how they feel. They felt isolated in the region for a long time. You know what I mean? That people, they've been sanctioned, everything else against them, and so now they're like, you know what? You killed our leader. I'm lashing out at everybody. And so, no one should feel safe in that region. If they can't feel safe, why should y'all feel safe?
Exactly. And then you're harboring my enemy too. It's like, it's that close to home. Like, I ain't messing with you.
What they say about when he came out of talking about we're cutting off all trade with Spain
because Spain won't let him. Like I'm saying, Spain won't let. They're not letting the U.S. set up on their bases.
They said they got bases. We got bases in Spain, but what he's saying is that they won't let us take off from their bases in Spain to drop bombs on Iran, which they shouldn't do. I feel like this is what's
going to happen. It's going to be retaliation on the base that took off. Think about it.
And you should. And I'm not mad at Iran for anything. People say, "Oh, you're un-American." No, you're un-American for thinking this way, for thinking that this is who we are as a country. I had to, I talk to people. I know people who are from different countries, Venezuela, wherever else. I told them, I said at the time, they were like, "Oh, this is a great thing what he did when he took Maduro." I said it's not, because there's going to be more of this around the world. This is just the first step in it. Can I get away with this? And when we get nothing,
that's what we're dealing with right now. Like, some people like that. That's what everyone's trying to come to. People are still trying to sit here and come to grips with it. There's people in here that want to watch you be destroyed. They want to watch other people suffer. They want to watch the pain in the rest of the world. They want to watch someone that they like put their thumb down on everyone else and make them feel miserable and terrible. There's no left or right on this. You know what I'm saying? It's either you want to leave people alone so they can live their lives, or you want to destroy everyone else's life so you can feel better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like, it's not going to stop. Think about it. Iran's huge.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who does, and I've said this before on the show, that kind of hate don't stop. Look at this right now. Like, here in America, we're at war on two fronts. We're at war here in America, and we have a war of a foreign land, right? And our troops are in the middle of it, right? Do you get what I'm saying? And it's not going to stop. Yeah, they get all the immigrants out. Then who are they coming for? All the people that were out there protesting with them. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of the colored people in the country. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand where this is going? Like, it's just going to keep going until everyone else is destroyed. These people have no morals. This is crazy. You're sending troops. And they're not, people put on there, they're like, oh, is Barron going? Of course he's not.
Yeah.
Of course
nobody
he's
in
not.
Trump's family has ever gone to war for America. No one in his family has enlisted
my son
anytime.
I'm happy my son started young saying he had mental health problems. I'm like, cool, got you, because now he ain't got to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, has he really got issues?
When you look at this type of conflict, I don't see it going that far. I just don't, because I mean, at the end of the day, unless we're deciding to put troops on the ground,
He said it today. He said we probably have to put troops on the ground today.
If they're looking to take over, if they're looking to do what they did in Iraq, they got to put troops on the ground, because there's no way you're taking that over. They've just appointed the last Ayatollah's son as the new supreme leader of Iran. Ayatollah basically means supreme leader. You know what I mean? That's what that is. There's always an Ayatollah.
Did they blow him up?
No, they didn't.
Not his son.
Not his son. Listen, you get to a point to where these people have infiltrated your country so far. We have to remember, they killed Hamas's leader in Iran. He was in Iran had to have meetings or whatever else, and they blew him up in his hotel room. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is who you're dealing with.
So I got the article right here. Look, Hegseth doesn't rule out U.S. troops in Iran. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declined to rule out deploying American ground forces in Iran during his first public comments on the joint American and Israeli military operation. The Pentagon chief, appearing in the Pentagon on Monday with chairs of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane, made the case that the strike launched over the weekend have no timetables for wrapping it up and are meant to destroy Iran's conventional and nuclear weapons program. They're going to send troops in, American troops.
I mean, that's why he said there'll probably be many more deaths, the XYZ, because he understands that this is okay. We have to remember, Iraq, there's like about 30-something million Iraqis. There's 90-something million Iranians. If it's me, I'm handing out guns to everybody. Everybody. That's every person. I think that in Iraq, they said that everyone is allowed to have like one AK in their home. I'm making sure everybody's armed, because you got to go door to door. There is no, you know what I mean? Obviously, you didn't have a plan for a secession in that country, because if you would have killed the leader, you would have had someone else ready to take
out of it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They got to bomb the hell out of it, like they did.
At some point in time, you have to go in. If you just keep bombing and killing, I've seen them do it, and we've seen them do it in Gaza. You got away with it in Gaza. I'm not saying it can't happen, but if you just keep bombing and killing, it'll be public opinion will turn against you very rapidly. As far as like the world, the world's already starting out.
The first bombs dropped killed schoolgirls.
That's also was a thing that kind of made it so that people look. I saw a lot of propaganda against that. I saw people put out lies and fake news about, oh, this wasn't Iran bombed the school themselves, or this wasn't this, or just a bunch of, you know how people are. They love to lie about things and to push false narratives. But at the same time, though, public opinion in this will matter. If Europe comes out already, because it got the UK, everyone else came out saying we're not involved ourselves. Canada, everyone's like, yeah, they're stepping back from it's like we don't want to help. We're not doing none of it. And so just from the beginning, if it starts out this way, where do you think it's going to lead to? We know what's coming up here this year, the midterms. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. This might be the conflict he felt was going to stop people from was going to make it so that he doesn't have to have an election, but this ain't it. You know what I mean? This ain't the only thing that, you know, they're going to probably do some false flags. There'll probably be some things like the guy who came out with the Allah shirt on and came out and, you know what I mean, and killed some people.
Texas,
y'all hear about that?
Yeah. I have the video, actually. I mean, I couldn't play.
Guy came out.
He came out. They were at a nightclub. I have the video. Actually, I can play it because you don't see the blood or whatever. But he came out. He had some Allah is something on his hoodie, and he just sprayed the crowd. I think he killed like 14 people, or he injured 14. He
Yeah,
killed a lot.
He did his thing. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know, but all I'm saying is these are the type of things that they do in order to try and make you scared and make you want to be at war with people. You know, I mean, I don't trust it anyway. I don't know if was he planted? Who is he? What does he got going on? That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like we should not be in conflict with Iran right now. Period, plain and simple, because they want to protect themselves. If Israel has nuclear weapons, why shouldn't Iran have nuclear weapons? People say, oh, because those are violent. You hear them use Muslim a lot. Those are violent Muslims. And we know who started the most wars in the world. We know who's basically killed the most people, maimed the most people worldwide in the name of a religion. We all know who did that. It wasn't Muslims. Everybody knows that. That's, you know, they're probably one of the more peaceful religions. And they say, why don't you go over there? Well, if you sanction my countries, made sure that we're piss poor, what do you think it's going to be like? We understand that poverty breeds violence, but they're not violent people. You don't see them just attacking Israel for no reason. It's not happening. But you see Israel doing that to other countries. That's a problem right there. I know a guy came out, he was basically like, well, what about Hamas and how about Hezbollah and what's the other one that they got? I can't remember. The Houthis. They said, what about those? Those are proxies. They give them weapons. They do X, Y, and Z. They send them out there to go kill. I said, well, we have to look at Israel as one of our proxies. We give them $3.5 billion a year, plus more billions in weapons and everything else. So is that not our proxy? And they're bombing people and killing people on a consistent basis. So what is it? That's just, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I just feel like this situation ain't going nowhere. He's stuck. He cannot get out of it because something's being held over his head.
You know what I mean? He can't get out of it. There's that, right? He can't stop it because if he, you know, he's not the person to pull out. He said, I don't get bored, but he's not going to pull out of this. Think about it. They could have mass casualties of American soldiers, right? And, you know, instead of him being like, okay, maybe this was a bad idea, let's pull back.
Double down.
He's going to double down. Exactly.
Double down on that. Once anything, I mean, you know, you have to look at it like this. We've already tried to broker peace. That's why he came out and said, they want peace. I don't want peace. No, we offered peace, a negotiation first. We came out trying to negotiate first and foremost. They're like, no, man, there's no negotiation right now. We ain't doing it.
Iran came out. Iran was like, yo, we tried to, what did they say? They're like, both times we had negotiations, they bombed us.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they did the people in Palestine, or when they had Hamas. They bombed. Remember, they bombed in Qatar. When they were gathering. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you fight? They're like, we don't want peace with that. Like, you're getting rid of all the conventional ways that we do business. Like, you're making your own norms. Like, we're gonna bomb you, we're gonna blow this up, we'll do what we want to do. And so now U.S. soldiers and civilians, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna enact the draft.
Let me ask this question, y'all. So I had a person on my page come in and say, well, you know, now it's time for us to come together as Americans because the world hates us, XYZ. This is kind of what he came out saying. We got to come together now after this. How do y'all feel about that?
Come together about what? Why are we coming together for?
Just basically to
no,
back
we didn't.
up
First of all, this is not a 9/11. All right, we were not attacked first.
Yeah,
and 9/11 is questionable. You get what I'm saying? We weren't attacked. This is, they called it a preemptive strike. That's no. Israel bombed them, then America bombed them. They started the war. Iran was trying to still negotiate. Now, I'm not coming together with nobody. Not at all. I'm good. I've seen how people have been acting for the last year. Why would I come together with those people? You don't like me. Now you need my help, and I'm supposed to be here for you. Nah. The world don't work that way no more. I go by the commander in chief. The way he acts is the way I treat other people that don't like me. I'm dead serious. Why not?
I don't think we've ever had a divisive divisive person as this before. We've never had anything like this that I know of. I mean, you know, back in the day, we probably had some to people of color. We've had some more divisive presidents than this. This is nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? This is like easy work.
Let me add this. The only people that I'm coming behind and I'm supporting in this are our troops. Because as a person that lives in a military town, that grew up military with military friends and family and people I know, you know what I'm saying? That's who I'm worried about, our personnel, because there's going to be a lot of people where I live at that aren't coming home. I don't know about everybody else here, but where I live at, there's probably going to be a lot of people that are not going to be coming home. So that's what my thoughts and prayers are with them. Yeah. Everyone else, nah. Kiss my black.
You guys really feel like it's going to get that far? Like we've had a lot of,
Yes.
When you say get that far, are you talking about as far as to where we have to send troops on the ground, or?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as far as like we're like Iraq, pretty much.
I don't
Okay,
think
so
it's
do you
gonna
see Donald Trump? Okay,
I don't
Donald Trump,
think
he don't even want to talk about the Epstein files, bro. He invaded Venezuela so we wouldn't have to talk about the Epstein files that didn't work, right? You think this man, he tried to overthrow the government because he didn't want to take an L in an election he lost. So you think he's going to take an L on the world stage?
All I'm saying is I don't think it's so much as an L. He's not taking if this was to be
Donald Trump
negotiated.
don't
Go
take
ahead,
L's,
go ahead,
bro.
Kilo.
No, what I was getting is I don't think it's really because again, there's other countries at play, right? In this whole in this Iran conflict, there's other countries at place that shall not be named, and so these countries have their own agenda, right? And we have our agenda, and also we have our support agenda with it. And so, with that being said, I think the other countries at play might do something, right? But I don't feel like we're gonna escalate it further because we already got ourselves involved. We can just be at this point, we can just be the supplier. If they need money, if they need arms, if they need ammunition, if they need extra support, sure, we can provide that. But I don't foresee us necessarily being boots on the ground directly in that manner.
Hey, Justin came on and said he said he was not a false flag. He is just the effect of the cause. Crazy people see what's going on and they need to do something. Then he says we should never stop trying to come together. You know what I mean? This is how he feels about, you know, the situation that we're going through right now.
A little too far gone. I mean, well, the whole thing is who's controlling the media that we watch? Who's controlling the messages that we see online? I think we all kind of want the same thing. But, you know, I started thinking about this, like, you know, there's people in this country that don't care about America, and they could make a bald eagle, you know, profile picture. Say the most vilest stuff because for them, they want the destruction anyways. Right. So who knows? Because what we're seeing on the media is not what we're all thinking, because we all get together. We're like, yeah, this ain't working. What we're doing right now is not working.
Nah, brother. I don't feel like when I think there's a class of us people here in America who feels like they are being pushed down. They're being, you know what I mean, victimized. I feel like this is what I feel like America's turning into. We all see, you know, the tide and how it's turning in our country. And we have people in this country who are just angry and hateful. And they're happy with what's going on here. It's very difficult for me to come together with a person who laughs about everything, not even laughing really, because they're not laughing because they're happy to laugh. It's more of a cynical, angry at themselves kind of a laugh. They are, you know, it's always negativity towards immigrants, towards, you know what I mean, anybody who they feel like is different than them or they shouldn't get out of my country, all that, man. It's very difficult for me to ever think I can come together with a person like that. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to sit back, and it's hard for me to even have conversations with people like that.
Well, you have to realize too, people at a certain age, you're set in your ways. You know, if that's the way you think, you've thought that all your life, you're not going to change. Nothing's going to make you change. You know what I'm saying? When you grow up with that kind of privilege where you can just treat everybody like crap, you know what I'm saying? And now it's open where you can do it. Why would I change? Why would I want to change?
Justin said, we definitely going to put boots on the ground. This is Donald J. Trump's war. He wants his personal glory. I mean, if they get that far, we're basically overthrowing a nation. You got to look at it like this to a degree. He's went in, he's overthrown Venezuela. I mean, to a degree, they still got their government in place. It's pretty much like nothing's ever happened to the people in that country. But right. He was able to steal 80 million barrels of oil. That's just what he said, and take it to his partners, sell it to them, and put the money in the Qatar banks. In Qatar, we all know that Qatar is basically the new Switzerland. You know what I mean? That's who they are now. Yeah. When you want to, you know, allegedly. I want to go to Qatar. You know what I mean, I don't want them tripping on me.
Well, I mean, they got bombed too by Israel. Israel bombed them to kill the people of Gaza. You know what I'm saying?
You remember that too? Yeah,
it happened. So, during a meeting.
But why did they bomb? It was Hamas. They had people from Hamas in their country. So they bombed them. Then they told them sorry. So me personally, I almost feel like this. Did you tell them they were there? I think that's how. If I'm Iran, that's how I'm thinking.
Nah, they do it through your cell phone.
Told them those over there.
It's through your cell phone. How you think they get so spread? Look,
hey,
I'm gonna say that you can Google. Anybody can Google this too. Israel put software in all Samsung phones. That is a program you cannot delete that can track you. That's how they remember. They had the phones and they give them to the people, the Hamas people, or the people in Gaza, the phones were blowing up on them.
Those were Hezbollah. Remember, Hezbollah was in Lebanon.
Blowing up on them. They put bombs. They can make your phone explode.
But to me, I'm pretty sure that these people are not just buying. I believe you, but I'm like, if these are leaders who are on the run, I'm not just going to the store and buying the Samsung phone. I got encrypted phones. People are, we got some stuff that ain't.
It don't matter what kind of phone you are. It's a program. It's an app that comes on your phone.
All I'm saying
it's already
is
there.
If this is how I look at it. If they're in my country, if they're in my country, and only this building gets hit and these people die, somebody told you where they were. That's, to me, that's not a cell phone. It's not nothing else.
Think about it.
They're in there. Wi-Fi. All of them are in the room. Hit them now.
AI can take your Wi-Fi signal. This is all the stuff is real. AI can take your Wi-Fi signal, use your Wi-Fi signal, and see how many people are in your house. And they can do a printout of everyone that's in the house and watch them moving around through your Wi-Fi.
I believe privacy. You, but people got money too. Like Qatar, they got bread too. Everybody got, they ain't the only ones with money, B. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if it's safety and they're like, okay, we're gonna move people around like this, so that was a back door in my eyes. If everybody's in the same room at the same time and then they kill you
twice,
on, bro. Remember the one guy from Iran, the one, I forget what his name was. He was supposed to go to the meeting and then he didn't go to the meeting, but then the meeting got blown up. Remember that?
Shoot, they said recently the person was supposed to be finding Israeli Mossad operatives, right? They had this whole task force to do it, but they found out that the task force was Mossad operatives.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, this is, to me, the situation. I don't know if we're gonna put boots on the ground in this conflict right here. If their whole entire desire is to get rid of the leadership and to put in new leadership, we have to go put boots on the ground. There's no other way to do it. I mean, obviously, they still have control of all their drones. They can still, you know what I mean? Like, there's the only way you can do, if you help try to start an uprising and then say, oh, they're killing civilians. You know what I'm gonna do if I ran the country and you basically tried to kill my leader just so you can start a civil war within my country and I could be usurped? I'm gonna probably fight my civilians too, because you probably are helping to arm most of them. That's just what it is.
We're gonna have troops on that, but I mean, how far? Because remember, Pete Hegseth came out and he was like, "Look, we're gonna change the rules of engagement. We're gonna change all that stuff." He's like, "You're not gonna have to worry about how you engage." In these battles. So I mean, we watched exactly what Israel did to Palestine. We all watched that. So and America let them do it. So who's going to stop America from doing it?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's Trump's over here like, oh, the biggest has yet to come. He's going to start hitting civilians. Oh well. Who's going to stop him? Who? Nobody.
Justin said Trump wants to fulfill the prophecy.
Justin, if you want anybody that's watching this show, if you want to comment and engage with us, please come to our page. It's Webb's Network Media. You might see this on my page. You might see this on Wes's right now. Come to Webb's Network Media. As you see right down here, that's what it is. If you click on that page here on Facebook, TikTok, or excuse me, Facebook, Twitch, or if you go to YouTube, you can click on this and you can join the discussion. We can put your comments here on the page and then everybody else can see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I don't see this ending.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think I don't know. I think that if I'm Iran, and if I can, show that how my anger, get off some shots, do what I need to do, hit some people, and then kind of reel things back in, I'm gonna do that, because you're weakened within your country. You just killed your supreme leader. You need to take care of house and home at this point in time. You need to make sure you lock down your country, because if not, there's probably rogue pieces of the nation right now that are not being policed. All kinds of stuff probably going on. If it's me, I'm gonna shoot off my shots. I'm gonna do what I got to do for a little while. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna be like, okay, let's go ahead and negotiate and get this over it, so I can so I can make sure my next supreme leader is in place to be able to do what he needs to do. Because if not, they're gonna have a civil war from within that's gonna take them out.
I mean, how's everybody gonna feel about the people that are for the war? Which is crazy. Like, if you're for the war, go join it. Go sign up, go get down. And it's a lot of people that they're too old to sign up and be in the war. But what's going to happen when we get punched in the face? How's everybody going to feel about that?
What do you consider punched in the face?
Well, what happens if a rocket lands here? What if one hits Milwaukee? You know what I'm saying? What if a bomb goes off during a parade? What happens if we just have major terrorist attacks here? Like, it's easy for us. We don't get touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get touched. We don't get touched so much that we still talk about 9/11, because that was the biggest time we got touched.
Have you been seeing all the graphs and stuff about like what the Iranian population in which states and where they have the highest population? You don't hear about that if it's something else or if it's somebody else, but if it's people of a certain religion or background, they're like, oh, who has the highest? Who cares, man? Those people, most of them are assimilated. Yeah, they don't like what's going on, but most of them are assimilated into your, into our culture. So it is what it is. So, I mean, to me,
well, the whole thing, like American culture is different. All our cultures are different. You know what I'm saying? And that's what used to make America great. Nowadays, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't understand. We've been doing this show for what, a year, 2 years now, Wes?
Mm-hmm.
2 years.
Yeah.
And we told everybody what was going to happen before it happened. We're like, look, this, and a lot of people, we're having a lot of trouble we're having right now is that we're having a problem adjusting to the new America that's being created or that was created in the last year. Because the America that we all grew up in, that's gone. Realize it's gone. We don't live like that anymore. Those rules, the way we carried ourselves, the
norms,
the norms, all that stuff is gone. We're in a whole different place now. This is a different country, and we need to adjust to what we're dealing with. And everyone needs to understand that. They don't care if you're poor. They don't care if you're a minority. Like if you're not a white male, they don't care about you. And they're letting it be known. Think about how many American citizens just being brown have gotten picked up by ICE.
If we look at most of the countries that we've been at in conflict with, have been countries, people of color. This is to me, I won't say this has everything to do with that. He tried to punk
Greenland. No, he tried to punk Greenland too. So it was, you know what I'm saying? In Denmark, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this.
I think that right now it's a different kind of a thing we're going through right now. I mean, both the last two countries that he's killed, they're either kidnapped and killed their leaders, are both countries with a lot of natural resources. Iran has some of the most oil in the entire, I think they're like fourth or something like that on or maybe third or something, right behind, maybe fourth. I think they're third or fourth, right behind Saudi Arabia in oil reserves. They're also like second or third in the amount of natural gas reserves they have in their country. Like Iran is a very wealthy nation that's poor, just like Venezuela. We got to think about things like that. Why are these countries so poor? Because we sanctioned Venezuela and Iran. They've both been sanctioned. Now we've gone to war and kidnapped and killed this other one's leader. Why?
How would you feel? How would you feel if they start drafting people, Wes?
I mean, to me, I think we're a ways away from it, but let's go ahead and go down that rabbit hole. If they did start drafting people, I think that right there would change public perception. I think we would probably be in for, I don't dare say like civil war within our country, but I think we're already at a point where people are like, you hear a lot of people who they call us, we're on the right, you're on the left, or you're a liberal, blah, blah, blah. You hear a lot of them already talking about war or fighting within our country. I think that would be the tipping point. If they tried to draft people, that would be a tipping point within this country. People are not, this isn't the 70s.
We're already fighting now. And I mean,
you know
exactly who they're coming. I mean, you know exactly who they're going to have pick people up, right? ICE.
Ooh. I mean,
say you're a young man, you're 28 years old. You don't show up.
I don't think people are going to run. I think it's going to be a lot different. This isn't going to be the 70s or the 60s where they're doing the draft. People had to watch on TV or watch on their phones and see if their birthday gets called. People ain't going for none of that. Who gonna go? Like, man, we're not doing none of that. Come get me and make me go. And the amount of people that will fight back against this,
come make you go. They have the force on the street to do it. What do you think ICE is for? It's a private military.
I think America was different back then in the 70s when people were being drafted and all that kind of stuff. And it was, even before when there wasn't, people were like honestly going to sign up. America, people loved their country. They thought that, there was infallibility within their leaders. We see the truth.
Yes,
now.
Well, Vietnam did change a lot of things. It did change a lot of things.
People are like, man, I'm not about to watch this and see my birthday pop up here and go to war for you. For what? There's too much social media, too much talking, too many different things, man, that it's just ridiculous. Hold on. Justin said, my dad is a staunch Republican, and I've had to have some deep conversations with him and try to understand where he's coming from. He said, I have deep perspective. Now I believe you do, because I see a lot of things you write that are very, you can catch you on both sides of that line, and which is, I mean, that anyone can be any type of way, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. It's just, to me, I don't feel like when it comes to me, it's not about being a
I ask
Democrat or
questions like this.
Republican.
Do you agree with Donald Trump posting the Obamas as monkeys?
And if they come back and they say something, well, this happened. Do we think he? Do we
Nope,
think
nope,
Trump-
nope. I don't care about none of that.
do we
That's a
think
yes or
Trump's
no
re-
answer. That's
do
the
we-
whole
do-
thing. You can ask people
do-
that. Do you
Yeah,
care?
D-Mac. Then
Yeah.
they come back and they say, like, do you think that Trump's racist? Oh, look, he's in a picture with Mike Tyson. Do you know he had casinos in Atlantic City? Do you know who was the biggest draw? Do you know who's the fight in Atlantic City? Mike Tyson. You know, when Trump is, to me, you're an opportunist. You're gonna take pictures with whoever.
There's
Remember,
a lot of there's a lot of people that are racist that have black friends. Like,
I
we
mean,
know.
when you and
think
your
about how many people
father
we were
said,
cool with.
"I am," go ahead.
Think about people we were cool with before all this started to happen. And you see in their post, you're like, damn, this person's racist as hell.
What he came out and he said blank no. What are we saying? What are we saying right there? What are you saying no to? I mean, you may have to come on. You should come on either on our YouTube page or go to our Webs Network Media Facebook page. And if you comment on there, Justin, it'll pop up on here. We could put you on the screen. We could put your comments on the screen just because I want to make sure that everyone can see. So I had to check my dad on that. I mean, and the thing of it is, though, I don't want to get into too much. I'm not sure because I know. I wish you would come on so we can have the conversation a little bit better. But sometimes people have different parts of their family. Like my daughter has different parts of her family that are different, different color. You know what I mean? So sometimes they may have conversations that are much different conversations than what they had when she was a kid. You looked at it like, okay, it was all love before, but now you're rooting for this person who has said some of the most vile things that you could possibly say about people. We watched him say Somali pirates were stealing money out of Minnesota. I mean, what did he really want to say? He tried to say the worst possible things about these people, but he really want to say that about us. But he understands if you say that about us, he says that about, we're a large portion of this population, and a lot of people mess with us in this country. It's easier to pick on a smaller population of people that may have just a tinge, little bit different than what we are.
Imagine you just alienate a whole group of people like that. You know, like that's an old racist trope playbook. I'm not going to even sugarcoat it no more. Why should I? I'm not going to sugarcoat anything anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Diana Bird says, no, we're not okay with Trump posting Obama as an ape. He said and Justin said the Obama monkey pig. He said he wasn't dealing with that. And Diana Bird said Trump is a racist. I mean, it's the fact of the matter. We all know what he is. We know he's a racist. Thank you for you guys' comments, man. If you guys want your comments to appear on this page, please go to our Webs Network Media Facebook page. And if you post on there, it would make it so that your comments appeared on the screen. But we appreciate your comments. We definitely use it to us. They love to try and play off the card of, oh no, he's not a racist. We've seen it. Him and his father excluded blacks from being able to live in their apartment buildings. There's a long history of racist things.
We don't even have to bring that up. We could do recently right now. They got rid of part of the Civil Rights Act. They made it okay to segregate in federal buildings. They got rid of the penny. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people didn't catch that why they got rid of the penny. Abraham Lincoln is on the penny. He's the only one that's on a copper penny, right? And his face is facing the other way. They did that because he set the slaves free. So he got rid of the penny, right? They got rid of DEI. You know what I'm saying? They fired all the black women out of the federal government. You know what I'm saying? They're who you think lost all them jobs when they was firing all the places they went to? It was black women. 300,000 African-American women lost their jobs. They were fired out the federal government as soon as Donald Trump got into there. They're taking down fucking historical stuff. They're putting up, come on, the signs are there. You know what he's a racist. It's cool. I mean, people, I'm just tired of people. I'm just tired of people pussyfooting around stuff. Stand on business. If you support this man, that's who you support. Say that out loud. The reason you don't is because you don't want the people around you to stop hanging out with you. Period.
What's going on, Bill? Hey, this is like, to me, and now we're in a situation to where there's a strong possibility, like you said, there's a strong possibility that this might turn into a broader conflict. I hope that it doesn't. I hope that it can be brought under control, but at the same time, I'm not mad at them for nothing you do now. I don't feel like none of us can be mad about it. I know, even though I'm an American and I love my country first, at the end of the day, I understand I would lash out like this too if you just came and blew up my leader for no reason other than the fact that a foreign country's telling everyone that they've been saying. I got a footage on my page where Netanyahu has been saying the same exact thing. Oh, they're 2 weeks away from having nuclear weapons since the 90s. He's been saying, he said it probably 15 different times since the 90s, and they haven't got a nuclear weapon just yet. And you know what? I honestly want them to have a nuclear weapon so they can defend themselves, because you have the most aggressive country in the world right now is Israel. Period. In my eyes, this is not about the Israeli people. This is about the Israeli government. Period. And they got us in another war yet again, just like they have had us in the Iraq war. That wasn't about us. He came out, Netanyahu came out in the late 90s, I'm sorry, and said that, oh, if we get rid of Israel, if we get rid of Iran, Iraq, and Syria, look at all the countries we've been at war with, then it would be peace in the Middle East. This is all three of these countries we went to war with. We got to start paying attention to what's going on here. I just read an article stating that 3 weeks ago, he was in the White House basically trying to push Trump into war. And now it seems like every time the Epstein files pops up, you know what I mean? What do we do? What happens every time the Epstein files pop up? We kidnap a president. We bomb Iran. She said, do you guys think that China and Russia will side with Iran and fight against us in Israel? Oof.
I mean, yeah,
that's a good comment right there.
I think if they see the numbers get low enough, or actually, you know what I think China will do? China probably going to take Taiwan, because who's going to stop them now?
Yeah, maybe we've already sold them out. Maybe we've already sold out Taiwan. That would be. We think that. To me, Russia has a big enough problem. If anything, Russia can't even supply. That's just my personal opinion. Russia can't even help themselves beat Ukraine. It's a tough enough issue for them to beat them. Right now, I think they're using all their troops and everything they have to kind of, maybe they might give them some missiles, ship some missiles into them or something like that can help them out, but there's nothing they can really do. China, on the other hand,
we got North Korea sitting there too. I mean, this could turn it. The whole thing is they don't even have to join in. They can just do their own things, right? Because Russia can just start bombing the Ukraine with whatever they want. They used I know they used this kind of missile, whatever, but it drops like phosphorus. Yeah, and it just burns. They dropped it. We have video of that on our page, Webb's Network Media. Think about it. North Korea could attack South Korea. China could go after Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is kind of on the plate right now. Like, anybody that ever wanted to have a conflict, they can just do it, because the U.S. we're too stretched thin right now.
There's no moral high ground. We no longer can push and tell the rest of the world that this is why we think that, you know, and build up coalitions to go fight against other countries based off of the fact of some type of a moral high ground. We have none. We've shown that we no longer have moral high ground when we allowed what we allowed in Gaza. We've shown it when we went and kidnapped Maduro. This is the worst administration.
We showed it when we tried to take Greenland. Think about that. Greenland's like, you can open up as many bases as you want. They're like, no, we want the place. We want all of that.
We have a very, very, I mean, and it's at the end of the day, when you really look at it, she said, Diana said, good. That's a good point. When you really look at it, this is the worst administration in my lifetime. I know, like I said, I know there's others out there before I was around, but this is the worst administration we've ever had in my lifetime. You look at the people who are here, they're morally corrupted.
I got Sean V here saying, what's crazy is North Korea, China, and Russia, they're all having secretive meetings, and the American president ain't included. Crazy.
But I mean, you think about it. Didn't he just take $10 billion to make a peace council or a board of peace or something like that? And he took $10 billion of the American people's money to create this board of peace and sends us right into war. It's like,
well, the board of peace was to say what they're going to do with Gaza. You know what I'm saying? Gaza and the West Bank. That's what the board of peace is. And they all have to pay money to get into there. So, you know what I'm saying? It's another thing. This administration is it's not even professionals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's loyalists. It's Project 2025. We talked about it on our show a year ago when they first, because they have a whole book. You can go online and read it, but it's part of Project 2025, because he told everyone, hey, if I get back into office, I'm just going to have loyalists around me. You know what I'm saying? And I tell West that all the time. I'm like, it's too late now. You can't stop them. If you got rid of all the DEI people out of the military that you didn't want in there because they wouldn't follow your orders. Think about it. There was a black, it was an admiral, I think it was.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He was the one that was in charge of all the stuff that's happening right now in South America where they're blowing up all the boats. He was like, nah, I ain't doing that. He's like, and so he stepped down. But if you have all these loyalists around you, they're gonna do and say whatever you want. And some of the stuff, think about it, it's not even him doing all the evil stuff. He's just taking credit for it. It's the people around him.
I mean, but if you're sanctioning it, the president has to sanction it at the end of the day. But do you feel like what do you think this will do to the midterms or the elections that we're going to have in November? How do you think this plays out with the midterms? Do you think this will hurt or help him during the midterms? Do you think that he's going to do what we've kind of been talking about him doing, which is to
Take
try
over the
and
election, stop the election? Yeah. Why not? Look here, right? We're in a full-scale war right now. All right, American soldiers have died.
Yeah,
we are bombing a whole nother country because another country did. We're in a full-scale war. If he says he doesn't want to, and remember, we talked about this. We talked about it. He has a group of people going around trying to have him sign an executive order saying some stuff about China. If he doesn't want to have a election, he won't have one. We don't have we don't live in a democracy anymore, Wes. I don't know why everybody thinks that everything is all normal. You know what I'm saying? Look, the Supreme Court told him you can't have tariffs. He's like, cool, more tariffs. You're supposed to go to Congress to do acts of war, right? He did it on the weekend when they weren't in. He can do whatever he wants.
Justin just came in. He said, we are not stretched thin. Whatever you think our military and technical capabilities are right now, we are 10 years ahead of that. I mean, it's manpower at the same time, too. It's not just that. I mean, you depending on who we have to deal with. Like when Diane brought up China, that would be a very difficult conflict if they jumped into this right now. I'm not trying to say we could. That would be very difficult. If Russia was to pivot from Ukraine and say, you know what, I'm just going to keep what I got and pivot to this right here, that would be very difficult conflict for us. No one else would join into this right here because really they don't have to. If they were to just join in on the side of Iran and say, you know what, we're only helping them as their allies, none of these other countries have to join in to help us at all. So it'd just be us and Israel fighting.
And the other countries are saying, hey, we don't want no piece of this. This has nothing to do with us.
I'm honestly happy that it's that way. I'm honestly happy that Iran is fighting. I want them to do well. Not saying that I want them to beat us, but I want them to do well. You know why? Because we attacked their leader for no reason. These people are poor and starving. People don't know that Iran had super high inflation. A lot of people in their country were starving, hungry because during sanctions that we put on them, we're putting sanctions on them for food, all kinds of stuff. We made it very difficult for them to make money. Same thing we did to Venezuela. People were starving. That's why 9 million people left Venezuela, because we basically made it so there were no jobs. We took away their ability to make money as people and as a country. Did the same thing to Iran. The only thing that Iran had that was a little bit better is they could actually export their oil. They actually had capabilities of being able to pump the oil out of the ground and keep it moving. Venezuela didn't have that. Their infrastructure fell apart. So am I against people defending themselves in their country? They didn't attack us. They had no plans. The Pentagon came out and said they had no plans to attack America. What are we doing over there? Why are we bothering those people? That's how we grew. That's how I grew up. I wasn't going to go bothering somebody next door to me for no reason. That had nothing to do with me. So to me, man, it's just people who consistently vote for things that they know will turn out this way. I don't see how we didn't see it wouldn't turn out this way. And we had this person in office before,
a lot of people
4 years prior.
There was a politician that came out. He was like, look, I don't want you to say that, he's like, I just want you to admit that you were lied to. He's like, don't admit you made a bad vote. He's like, just admit you were lied to. But I mean, you get what you voted for.
He's trying to be nice.
He was trying to be nice. He was running for office.
You feel me? It's not. Forget admitting you were lied to. You're a person, pretty much. That's how I would look at you. Everything that you voted for, when you sit here and listen to a person say tainting the blood of America, all the things negative he said about other people, the things that he came out, we don't care. We tamed a savage country. All things he told us who he was. He said it right in front of our face consistently. 4 years prior to that, he said the same things. We saw who he was. He came out doing Muslim bans, everything else. Everyone knew who he was. They voted for him because it was a part of who they are too. He said what you wanted to say. That's what this is about. You didn't say, oh, you voted for him for the economy. What? We saw his last economy. He drove us into the dirt. He took a great economy and drove it into the dirt. He's a horrible president. He's always been a horrible president. Everyone's known this. This is nothing new. This is not like a rocket science. Oh my God, like epiphany happened. We've seen this guy. This isn't our first merry-go-round. You wanted this. You wanted this back because you felt weakened by what just happened, by the things that happened, well, I'll say 8 years prior, when someone else was president that you didn't like, that you thought was taking something away from you. This is what this is all about. It has nothing to do with it. We have the worst person ever as president in my lifetime. I'll just say that in my lifetime. I believe it was many other lifetimes prior to this. He's the worst one too. He stole billions of dollars. All of his kids are stealing money. Right now, the same drone companies that are making our drones, his son is part owner of. It's crazy, ain't it?
But they haven't made a single drone yet.
Ridiculous.
Are they making them now? Because they got the contracts before the business started.
He said, I'm censoring his comments. He said, Justin said, you are censoring my comments. I was just saying we are not stretched thin.
We're not censoring nothing. Hey, like we told you, if you want, come to the Webb's Network media page and we'll put your comment up here.
I think he's saying that I'm saying something that I don't know, but we're not censoring your comments at all, Justin. You know, I'll deal with you. You already know what's up, bro. But so no, it's not like that. But I don't feel like we're stretched thin. I feel like we are as a nation, man. We can't afford to fight on wars on all these different fronts. It's not in us right now. Say if like Diana came out and said, say if China were to want to attack Taiwan right now, we have a pact with Taiwan that we're supposed to defend them. Can we go do that right now and still fight in Iran? Is that possible? Say if North Korea was to attack South Korea, could we go help out with that right now? We're a great country. We're a very strong country. We have a lot, but man, don't get it twisted. We're not, you know what I mean? We have vulnerabilities. We can be there. Right now, they've already said that if we were to go to a naval war with China, that we would have an issue beating China in a naval war right now because they have a lot of ships. In my heart, do I believe we win? Yeah, of course. Because we have
to believe we win. Because if we don't,
I mean, that's just what it is. However, you know what I mean? There's a chance that we might not. There's a lot of things that could happen. You know what I mean? You just don't want to be in so many different conflicts that it becomes an issue. And the whole thing
is it's all about, casualties. We're talking about war like, we're going to go to commercial break. It's going to be over. Mm-hmm. No, we're sending troops out there. We're all grown. The majority of people coming, and we're adults. That's our kids going. You understand? Absolutely. That's our kids' friends. That's our nieces, our nephews. That's who's going to war. We're not going. We're the old folks. We're too old. Anybody under 35, 18 to 35. And it's going to be a lot of loss of life. For what? So our president can keep his friends can keep touching little girls? Huh? So the truth won't come out? So they can keep making money? Huh? Iran ain't never did nothing to me. Not a single thing.
Absolutely true. Diana said the people that I know who voted for him are still riding him. She said, I think that he interpreted David saying that Russia was stretched thin as we're stretched thin. You know what I mean? That's what she said. But I mean, most people that I know who are right, I think people tend to, don't get me wrong, in their heart, they know what time it is. They see this as a debacle. We just saw it last time. He's talking about putting, what did he say, Lysol, or what would he say, spraying or drinking bleach? I mean, we saw this last time. There's no way that you couldn't have, you could have misinterpreted the last presidency. You want to be like, oh, it's COVID's fault. So if the whole thing happens,
sometimes you don't know. My bad. Sometimes you don't even know if it's him talking. Remember the one time they had him talking and it started glitching because they used the AI. They've used AI twice with him.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When he made his little declaration about the Iran war, I'm sitting here, I'm at the house and I'm seeing the video. I'm like, you can't even see his face. It don't even look real. You know what I'm saying? Half the time he does really talk like he's either falling asleep or he's forgetting what he's saying.
Right now, man, he's just taking the money. That's how I really feel like. Right now, he's like, you know what, man? Just let me get as much money as I can. He's made more money in 1 year as being president than he's made in his whole entire life. Think about that. He made more money during this presidency than all the other presidents combined during their presidencies and after and everything else too. But he's made more money in this presidency in just this 1 year than he's made in his entire life. If that's not, corruption at the highest level, I don't know what is. One of his sons, the Baron, he's worth $180 million from the last year of this presidency. This is what he's now worth. His other two sons, the one's worth like another 400 million. The other one's worth like 800 million. This is all from the last year of this presidency, bro. we don't see what's happening right in front of our face. We're being, I mean,
we see it. There's just nothing you can do about it. There's who's gonna stop him? Think about it. The Supreme Court tried to stop him. He told them no. They're not even talking to Congress about this. He doesn't have to answer to anybody.
Congress is not even in session right now to vote for war power. Nothing. I mean, they're not even stepping up to say, you know what, we need to go into session. They don't even want their powers at this point in time. Because he's supposed
their powers are useless. He can do whatever he wants, so he doesn't need them anymore. He doesn't need anybody.
And
who's going to stop him?
You get the argument from a lot of the Trump people saying stuff like, "Oh, well, Obama didn't ask for war powers from Congress,
bro." That was. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, who cares? We're talking about today.
No, even then,
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying, Wes. People, well, Bush did this. Well, Reagan did this. Well, Lincoln did this.
It doesn't equate, though. It doesn't equate. It's not the same thing. I'm making the point that okay. They say, oh, what about when he bombed Libya? That was a UN mission that NATO did. We have troops in NATO.
Honestly,
that's not.
I don't want to be rude or whatever, but like I hear what you're saying. But when people say that, but like I don't give a fuck what you're talking about, bro. I'm talking about today because what he's doing today is affecting me. I don't care what the historians. Well, Obama wore a tan suit. Who gives a fuck? Donald Trump is on the Epstein file. Excuse my language. He's in there notably sleeping with little kids, and they're not even released. They got parts they're leaving out. I don't care what nobody else was doing 4, 8, 12 years ago. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about March 3rd, 2026. What's going on today? People don't bring nothing up. We're talking about this today. Stop.
You know me though, man. I'm always gonna want to context matters, man. Whatever you talk about things in life, context does matter. Because some people will take that. We got to remember, we're not just talking to the diehards who are going to be one way or the other. There's people in the middle who are generally trying to listen and hear what's going on, but they don't have an idea. They just hear one thing. Oh, this person did it, and in their eyes, they think that's true. This happened this way. No, that's why I like to give people context, let them know, because there's people who pay attention to us, for some of our points of view. So what I mean,
like I said, I'm talking about today. Like, I don't care what Obama did. I don't care what Biden did. I mean, even only thing I can talk about Trump. He was president. He's the president now.
He said we got to send another link. The link we put in there didn't
work out for you. I got you.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. She said Iran and China have way more population than the U.S., which is a very true fact. They do. You know what I mean? And so. I mean, China by itself got 5 times more people than we have. 5 times. I mean, you can kill all of America, all 340 million of us, 5 times before you run out of people with them. So people don't realize they have 1.5, 1.4, 1.5 billion people in China. We got 340 million. They can, you know what I mean? It's an issue. Don't get it wrong. We have great modern weapons, but they have weapons too. They got a lot of things going on over there too, and they're spending a lot of money getting ready for war as well. And they're not wasting their shots like we are right now, sending them to Ukraine and everywhere else, and then sending them to Israel to play war games in Gaza. So it's definitely this definitely is an issue for us, man. I really don't know what's going to happen going forward. I hope that. Me personally, I hope that Iran, I don't know what a peace deal looks like for Iran. Would they tell them, hey, we want your leadership to step down? Is that a peace deal that they're trying to negotiate?
Why would they even take it? The first thing they bombed was a school full of girls. Then you kill their leader. Regardless of how I feel about Donald Trump, somebody takes him out, we got to do something about it. And we ain't gonna stop until we done doing something about it. You know what I'm saying?
It's different though. We can talk from this point of view because we're America. We talk from our home, knowing that there's not going to be a bomb that's going to strike our home.
Drop. That's what I'm saying.
So we can be as tough as we want to be
when we get touched.
You know what I mean? I'm saying we can be as tough as we want to be. Or, you know what I mean? Like, man, I would do this and that and third. It's because we don't have to worry about any of the things these people in these areas have to worry about. So if I'm Iran, I got to look at this from a perspective of we're on the cusp of being overthrown by our own people right now. Because people in their country who don't like the regime, who don't like what's going on, who want to do what they want. You know what I mean?
Same as here. I think that's every country.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say anything bad. There's just a small segment. But once you start showing signs of weakness, those people take over. Look what happened in Libya. Look what happened to Gaddafi. Gaddafi was actually doing a great job in Libya. They had social programs that we could only dream of. You have a child, you get married, you're getting a house. If you have a medical ailment that their doctors could not take care of, paid for by the government, they fly you out the country to another country to have you worked on, operated on by foreign people. Don't really realize free medical, free free healthcare, free education. Everything was going on for Libya from their oil dollars. People don't realize that. They can say all the bad stuff they want about Gaddafi, but go look him up and go find out what he was doing. He was doing some great things. Any country that comes along and tries to take care of their people or does anything that has to do with for the people, you look at our government that we go against them. Anything socialist, we go against. I'm not a socialist. I don't believe in total socialism, but we go against that because we don't want people to see that work. That's the biggest thing. We do not want people to see that letting the government take care of what it has to take care of. Not even the government, because it's our money. It's our money. Letting our money take care of us works. And so I don't know. Just to me, if I'm Iran, man, bro, I'm definitely going to think about taking a deal sooner or later. Because we can't, if you go send in American troops, what do you think is going to happen from there?
Nah, because there's that other monster that's right behind them that started the war with them. That's who they don't want to make the deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they know they saw what happened to the people in Palestine. And you saw what happened to you next.
I mean, so all I'm saying is if you make the deal, okay, and you get to keep your leadership in power.
What kind of deal though? They said that
it has to be some kind of guarantees of safety guarantees, some type of we won't make nuclear weapons. Well, I mean, you kind of got to give that up for right now. I want to.
The whole thing was like this, Wes. Think about it. They said our president said, "Hey, we destroyed their nuclear capabilities. It's all destroyed." And then they're like, "Oh no, they built it back up, right back to where they were." So I mean, which is it?
Hold on. So Justin said, listen, he said, David, do you have interest in speaking and trying to bridge the gap with people who have conservative views but don't like Trump and everything he is trying to do? Because there are those of us who do exist. I know he wasn't going to say me, bro, because he knows that he thinks no, but I'm gonna keep it real with you.
It's crazy. I work with a lot of people. I talk to people that look. I look at it like this, dude. There's people on the far right that are batshit crazy. There's people on the far left that are also batshit crazy. Then there's us in the middle trying to make peace and knowledge of what's going on here in the world. I have conservative friends. You know what I'm saying? But I also have friends that come out, they'll be like, hey, yo, I didn't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. Because at the end of the day, you're human. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes some things you can't agree with people on. You know, some things are morally, like you look at that, morally wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't hang out with somebody like that. Am I going to be beefing in the streets and wearing signs and getting crazy people? No, I got other things to do.
Matt, I need to know what your conservative views are, because I don't believe conservatives. Not you.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about people who act like they're conservative. Because none of you Republicans are. I mean, they may not say they're not Republicans, but you are. But you're not even conservative anymore. You're not fiscally conservative. You're only conservative when it comes to maybe you're anti-abortion, maybe you're anti. LGBTQ, maybe you're anti-immigrant. What conservatism are we talking about? Let's be real.
It seems they're conservative when the Democrats are in power. They be like, hey, whoa, don't run rampant with nice stuff for everybody.
I mean, but the fact of the matter is they spend all the money when they're in office. Everyone knows who runs up the deficit higher than anyone. Look where Trump is right now. I need to know what your conservative views are. Let's stop. We're not gonna toe the line. This isn't me coming at you either, Justin.
That's a good question, Wes.
I need to know what these conservative views are. Is it just anti everything, anti-immigrant, anti-LGBTQ, anti, any kind of anti-civil rights? Because that seems to be conservatism right now too. Because they don't believe in that people should have civil rights. They don't think that we even need them in this country. Where do you stand on this?
Let's save that for the next show. I think tomorrow we're going to come back on and let's ask people let's get people to answer those questions. That'll be the question for the next show tomorrow. What are your conservative views and what are your liberal views?
What time we be on?
Let's do 7:00 tomorrow. That work for you, Wes? 7:00 tomorrow. We'll be right back here. And I want everybody to think about that. If you're conservative, if you're a liberal, what are your views? What are the views that you stick with and what are deal breakers? And we'll come back tomorrow. And
please listen, subscribe, comment on all of the channels, just so that make sure you guys tap back in. We really appreciate all you guys tapping in with us.
And right Diana, here, you see this logo right here. Everybody that tapped in with us.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate
come to Webb's Network Media. We're going to share it on our pages. It's a link to our Facebook, and it's going to be a link to our YouTube. Follow us on here. You can stay up to date with everything that we do on here. We also do the Friday Fix, where there's no politics. We just hang out and drink, smoke, and everybody can talk about everything that's not politics. But yeah, follow us here. Webb's
He said-
Network
he
Media.
definitely said Democrats tax us more than anybody for sure. He said, but he wouldn't say for starts. I mean, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to definitely
talk about it tomorrow.
We're going to definitely talk about that
tomorrow.
too. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot to talk about when it comes to this. I want to know because I watch you kind of. I'll be like, man, which side of the? But you could just be in the middle. But you said you're conservative, so we're going to talk about that. We're going
to talk about that tomorrow. All right, folks. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. And we'll see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock Pacific time.